break free at the end is just out of his reach a little bit. It's a good shot. Take it in the end zone. Keep those defensive backs, those people back there, to respect the pass a little bit, maybe slow them down on their entry into the running play.
So it's 3rd and 7.
They've got 2 shots at it.
You betcha. Although they need 2 scores, and they've got a great field goal kicker, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. They need to get to the 16-yard line for a first down. Here comes
nobody on him.
The quick flip to Valek. Valek will score all by himself.
You can't see him right here, but way out over on this side, there's an offensive player, Valek. Nobody on him. Quarterback Collins sees it, gets it out there quick, and that's a quick 6 points. That's an easy one for Stevenson getting back into this ball game. They're gonna kick this thing. Yeah, pull within 3.
There was nobody anywhere near him. Obviously, he hid very well, blending in with the yard markers or something over there, because there was nobody there. The extra point is up by Eric Zabala, and it's good. 7:39 to go. A dandy. It's 21-18. This is the MHSAA Championship Network.
Play. No one out there covering Valek, and he's able to take it untouched, unhampered, straight into the end zone. Unseen.
That's better. Unseen. At the beginning of the play, you may have seen number 47. There you see the scoring drive, but you may have seen number 47 in red, Dave Tyler, who is a defensive back. All of a sudden, Ray, he spun completely around and ran as fast as he could over there. Now, it was too late, but maybe it was his responsibility. Maybe he was the first one to see that, hey, there's a guy out there, and we've got no red shirt on.
We got caught on that one.
John Bracci will kick it deep. And that's Stanford taking it at his 8. Boy, does he have some quicks. To the 40-yard line. And so now, Mr. Stanford and company have a little work to do.
Yeah, he went around Keith Mosley like he was standing still,
and compared to Frank Stanford, he was.
Yes, he was, and then that's the explosiveness that they have. 7 touchdowns via return on the year for Walled Lake. It might be. Yeah, he took his hands off just in time there.
I didn't touch him.
And there's the move I talked about. Let's see if the coach is wisened up a little bit. Yeah, nope, they go down again.
Down. Oh, my.
That's 2 coaches gone down.
All right, well, it's not as funny this time because Weston's got some work to do. Stanford to the fullback. Short yardage only for Dave Johnson. And Livonia Stevenson is as stoked as you can get right now. Take a look at this from the reverse angle. These Warrior coaches are dropping like flies.
Look at the coach. Now, he got the hands out. That's good. But, Coach, you got to get good body position and learn how to fall. Now he's going to have a sore backside later on. It's not as funny. You're right. It's not as funny this time because they're not up 14-3.
That's right.
Now it's a ball game. Now you get serious.
7 minutes, clock ticking. Second and 9. Stanford wants to throw, zinging it out there. It's bobbled and dropped by Adam Lloyd. Oh, my, this is a thrill-a-minute game.
Great coverage by Zem Fenning. Actually,
well, right up to the end.
Yeah, up to the end, and then it got over him. But you watch at the end of this, he's going to grab the foot. Stanford with the fake. He's going to set up, and he's rolling to his right, so it takes a little more time. If he'd have got this off sooner, I think he'd have had his man. Here's the ball's going to come in. Watch at the end of this. Going to grab the foot right there just in case, and he kept him from getting the bobble. Good play by Zem Fenning, making up after he got beat.
And that's one of those, it's super slow motion, and everybody here is rising and falling as the ball pops up. 3rd and 9. They need midfield for the first down. Stanford throws short, throws incomplete, intended for Nays. Excellent coverage by Don Zielinowski.
Zielinowski had the coverage, and Ryan Losh had the pressure. Coming again off the outside. No one's able to get him. You're going to see him come in from outside here and get the pressure. That's actually the other side it came in from. My bad, but nonetheless, nice little swim move to get in there and get the pressure. It's a 4th and 10, and it's going to be a punting situation, and Stevenson's going to get the ball back with 6:37, looking to go ahead in this one.
That's a quick
there's a
3 and out.
There's a football. There's a fanatic. The guy with the hat.
Pat Gibson would really like to bomb one. Alls is the deep safety. Pressure coming. This is going to bounce. Alls is going to field it.
Dangerous.
And wrestle 3 Warriors, but have it 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line.
Donnie Davis down there first, making the hit and then holding on for dear life to the ankle. 81 yards, or 79 yards, excuse me, from pay dirt now. The Warriors haven't been able to stop the Titans at all in this second half, particularly in the 3rd quarter. Those last 2 drives, it's been all Stevenson here as you look at Valek receptions, both Class AA finals records, and he ain't done yet.
No, he's not. 6:27 to play in regulation. Frank has had great success running off the left side the last couple of drives. That time, not so much success. He'll get a couple.
Good stop by Nick Gerhard, the captain, the senior. Stepping up, staying home, and making a stick. Had a little help there that time.
Armitage.
From Armitage.
Gain of 2, 2nd and 8.
Good numbers for Collins on the day. 50%, 132 yards, and that touchdown.
And he ain't done yet either. Here comes a blitz right side. Collins wants to lob it up this side for Steele. Over his shoulder, incomplete. Stride for stride with him was Paul Morandi. 3rd down and 8 to go.
Great coverage by Morandi on that one as you get the ISO look. He's going to stay in the bump, get the hands on him. Now turn and run. Watch his head. He's going to keep his eyes on the receiver, and then he'll get a sense. The ball's coming. Take the peek. Excellent coverage, inside position. It had to be a perfect pass to even give Steele a chance.
And to his credit, Pat Collins threw it to the outside shoulder. So if it's going to be incomplete, it's going to be incomplete and not intercepted. 3rd and 8. Valek and Steele out wide to the right. The blitz has not been as effective lately. Collins steps up, takes a big hit, throws, incomplete. Tremendous pressure that time coming from Brett Fooney, number 2, and Dan Thompson, number 78. Collins stepped into it and took a bump, Ray, but I don't think he had enough time to put the ball where he wanted to put it.
And there was confusion. Watch these guys are scrambling around. It's fire drill time, and when the ball snapped, you just go. A lot of times that'll hurt the blocking scheme. These guys, they don't know where they're supposed to be. There's the big hit on the quarterback at the end, and Morandi, I don't know why they're trying to pick on him, because this guy can flat out cover, and he has the glove on Steele again. Here comes your pressure, and this is going to come in late, and this is going to be a nice smack on the quarterback. You don't like to take too many of those.
Dunlap to punt. Nays and Thompson are back, and this is a mile high and not very far, and everybody's trying to get out of the way, and now it's going to take a good bounce for Stevenson, and it's going to roll dead at the 46-yard line. That probably got 2/3 of its distance after the bounce.
Yeah, very fortunate on the bounce, or the Warriors would have had that ball in Stevenson territory. As it is, they've got 55 yards to go to put it in the end zone, but what they want to do is control this clock. With 5:24 left, they want to keep that ball out of the hands of the Sterling Heights Stevenson Titans and come home with a state AA class championship.
Yeah, that particular defensive series, Western had the blitz much more effective, pressuring Collins so he didn't have time to throw. Stevenson has 3 timeouts left, if you're curious. Walled Lake Western has 2 left. First man through is Johnson, the fullback. He'll rumble forward for just a couple, and the clock will run.
First hit by Tim Grochowski, and then the linebackers come in 42 to clean it up, and 42, of course, is Chris Nader. Made several big plays today, but Grochowski got the first hit on that one. Expect that the Warriors will keep her on the ground and try and minimize any possibility of a turnover.
2nd and 8. Stanford gets everybody set just the way he wants them. He's still got it, and he's got a blocker. Lachowski threw a saddle on him, and it's a good thing it was a strong saddle because Stanford didn't want to go down, but he got the first down.
Yeah, that's actually
that wasn't Lachowski.
Don Juranowski.
Thank you.
With the hit number 48, and he took a little ride with it, and I tell you, he hung on for dear life because if you let Stanford slip away, he'll go the whole distance. This is a great job of running the option, the fake here. You got a block there. You got a lead blocker now coming out, leading the way. He's going to take out that man.
That's Davis with the block.
And now it's 48 Juranowski making this tackle or forget it, and he hangs on and gets him down. Little leg whip at the end.
1st and 10 from the 41. Clock at 4:10 and rolling. Frank, the fullback, shakes one tackle and leans forward for a pickup of about 7. That's a good run by Dave Johnson.
Ken Miller's going to hit him right about the line of scrimmage, number 71, right here, but he can't hang on. You see the power in Johnson's legs as he just rolls over. Bishop comes up and makes a hit, and Nordstrom's on the bottom of that pile as well, but that's a big 8-yard gain on 1st down, and if they can keep grinding it out, they'll grind themselves a championship.
Well, they've ground the clock down to 3.5 now, 2nd and 2.
And here's the irony, a team that relies on its quickness now is grinding it out. Power football just going up the middle.
Johnson again will have 1st down yardage across the 30, and the clock will run some more.
Miller that time was able to tackle him, but not until it was a 1st down.
Dave Johnson, 5'9", 200 pounds. He's just a sophomore. I suspect we'll hear more about this young man over the next couple of years. There's Johnson. Good look at the youngster, and I do mean youngster. They reset the chains. They restart the clock. 3:10, 3:09, and going. And pretty soon, Sterling Heights Stevenson Ray is going to have to start using timeouts.
Yeah, they need to stop in this set of downs right here.
They've got the offense to score quickly. They've got to come up with a defense to get them the ball right now. Stanford again sweeping, cutting it inside. Look out. All the way down to the 13-yard line. Another 1st down for Walled Lake Western.
Juranowski on the stop, but boy, they expect them that they're going to just pound it out and not take many chances. So they slam into the belly, and now they're coming around the end. They've got number 60 leading the way. That's Joel Morris with a block. And he got Stanford running the football, and this guy is a threat, and he's able to just stretch it out. They might even put more points on the board here.
And Morris didn't have to get a great block, but look, he just seals off Losh there and gives Stanford the chance to make a move. That wasn't Losh out there.
All he needs is just a little crack, a little seam, and Stanford will get yardage.
Clock down to 2:20 now. Ooh, big quick hitter by Dave Johnson, and you could hear it and feel it all the way up here. And they're not getting 5 or 6 yards a pop, Ray. They're getting 7, 8, and 9 yards a pop.
Well, Scott Bishop took the pop on that one. Big hit, and they're going to get a timeout. Now watch the way that Johnson finishes this runoff. Hello.
And goodbye. He's down just outside the 5. Stevenson has called a timeout with 2:11 to go in the game, and the Walled Lake Western fans love it. Stanford has done the work. I don't think he's completed a pass all day, and right now it just doesn't matter. He's a junior, so he's coming back. 5'10", 165-pounder. So you have a junior quarterback and a sophomore fullback.
And there's a chop.
With the familiar chant we have heard so many times. Tomorrow night, our coverage of the 1996 MHSAA football finals continues here on Pass Sports with the Class CC championship game at 7 o'clock. That's the one between Iron Mountain and Detroit St. Martin de Porres. You be sure to stay with us as we continue to bring you the best in high school sports coverage right here on Pass. John Matlack, Ray Bentley, enjoying this one as much as you are, I think. This has been a back and forth, well-played game. Not a lot of mistakes, certainly not a lot of penalties, and a lot of big plays and good plays.
Really a great football game, a battle that in the first half, the speed and the quickness of the Warriors was the main show, and then through the third quarter and the first part of the fourth quarter, the strength and the power and the versatility of the Titans came through, and now here at the end, the Warriors able to get a stop on defense when it was critical, and now that offense grinding it out on the ground, killing the clock, and getting into scoring position.
2nd and 2 for a 1st down. Stanford still got it. Stanford dives, and that should just about do it. Frank Stanford putting the ball on his hip, saying, catch me if you can.
Same play we've seen throughout this drive. Fake the belly to the fullback. Gets some nice lead blocking coming out there. And then Stanford with the wheels, taking it into the end zone. Touchdown.
The great block there was by left guard Pete Seitz. He's number 54. Watch
coming
him
right at you.
seal the corner.
Boom,
right
he hits
there.
Losh, and that opens the gap. And now Stanford's going to take it in the end zone. Touchdown.
Pat Gibson to add the extra point, which would make it a 10-point lead.
He missed it.
No, he did miss it, so it's a 9-point lead. 2:05 to play. Walled Lake Western leads at 27-18. This is the MHSAA Championship Network. Here's Stanford. He's going to get this kick-out block right here. He's going to move it inside, and it's going to be 6 right there. Go ahead and roll it. See if that isn't the best illustration you've ever seen. Here comes the block right there. Here comes Stanford. Here comes another block right there. Stanford's going to race in. That's the best illustration I've ever seen in the history of football.
Ray,
I'm sorry you're now number 2, but
well, you've been taking notes, obviously.
That's what I studied at the foot of the master here.
Thank you.
Gibson to kick it deep with 2:05 to go, and obviously Stevenson needs something to happen real quick here because they're within 10, and they've got a good foot to kick a field goal. But they're also down to 2 timeouts. They had to use one on that last series, and they need 2 scores. Just that simple. Gibson putting the hammer down on this one. Alls watches it kick into the end zone, so it'll come out to the 20-yard line.
Yeah, that was a big kick by Gibson, getting it into the end zone and negating any chance of a return by Alls, who can take it Alls the way.
This telecast is a copyrighted production of the Michigan High School Athletic Association and Pass Sports. No reproduction of the pictures, accounts, or telestration of this game may take place without the express written permission of the MHSAA and Pass.
Did you get permission?
I did, in fact.
Right.
I have written permission from Jack Roberts to telestrate 1 play a year, and I just used it up.
Yeah, I tell you, you're going to get more than that. You keep up that kind of good work.
Easy for you to say now that I'm done, right? Collins has to go to work here, and he is going to gun it deep. Valek racing down, double coverage, nowhere near it. Walled Lake Western Ray had 4 guys deep, 2 guys underneath that. They did not blitz that time, but they simply dropped back into umbrella coverage.
Yeah, I'd just soon see Stevenson go for the shorter routes right now on the sidelines because they're not going to let him get the deep one. As you said, 4 guys deep. And, you know, if you do get one up there, then it's a lucky one, for grabs one.
Let me ask you a question. You played defense for a lot of years, and you may answer this later. Is it better to sit back and give the guy time to pass with coverage or to rush somebody and try to break down his time? Answer it later. 2nd and 10, Collins again. Has time, throws short, intended for Steele, throws it too short, incomplete. It's 3rd and 10. Okay, what do you think?
It's all field position. In this part of the field, you got to make them throw it underneath. You get all your men back in coverage. You let them catch the ball, and then you knock them down and maybe knock the ball loose. But when you get further down into where they're in your territory, then you got to take your shots at them. You got to blitz. You got to make them get rid of that ball quick.
All right. Thank you very much. 3rd and 10 now for senior Pat Collins, who's had a brilliant year and who's had a very good game under much duress. He's been running for his life throughout the evening. He's obviously going to throw again. Has a little screen set up. It's caught by a tight end. It's caught by Josh Cole, the right tackle. The question is he eligible or not? There was no announcement that he's eligible.
Actually, that's 72.
That's 72.
Nate Odinga.
Thank you. And he made a nice reception and turned it upfield, but I think Nate has said, I shouldn't have done that.
Well, you know, he's a big target. How do you miss him?
And the pass is coming to him.
6'7", 296.
Well, that's not an ineligible receiver call. That's offensive interference call or illegal use of the hands. He said pushed off.
I'm not sure on that. Now
Nate,
look at him. Here he is,
okay.
and he may just indeed be the end man on the line of scrimmage.
If the receiver over that side is flanked, you bet. No, wait a minute.
You know, it's coming into here. This is where he's trying to throw it, and Odinga just kind of reacted a little bit. Oh, there's the ball, and he took it. Hey, not a bad play.
And referee Tom Reynolds just put his 2 hands on his hat.
Illegal receiver.
Illegal receiver. So it's a penalty and loss of down. It's now 4th and 20. Last gasp for Sterling Heights Stevenson. And if Collins has a 21-yard play in his repertoire,
now's the time.
No choice. 1:22 to go in this game. Valek, wide right. Andy Frank is slotted right. Wide and slot to the left side as well. Collins has time. Throws deep for Steele. Did he hold on? He did not. And the ball turns over to Walled Lake Western with 1:05 to play in the season.
It was a nice play, a little post corner where he faked running the post, broke it outside. Looked like the ball was maybe just a little bit overthrown as Steele got it on his fingers but couldn't pull it in.
2 timeouts for Stevenson. They're down 2 scores. There's 1:05 left, and Walled Lake Western has the ball at the 10-yard line. Take a look at Steele on the ISO.
Here's the post that I talked about, and then the corner. Going to break outside. Nice move. He's got the man beat. Let's see where this ball ends up. Oh, right on the money.
Well, he had it for a second.
You know, it was the man, Scott Nays, coming over, putting a shoulder on him and knocking it out.
Well, Steele had to stretch out to get his hands on it, and he had to sense that somebody was coming at him for his ribs. And now Stanford and his red-jerseyed Warriors have only to run off 1:05. Quick hitter, Johnson, rumbles, leans, dives, and scores!
That kid's just a sophomore, Dave Johnson, and I believe he had a smell of end zone. Watch him just power his way. Good block, and he's got a seam.
Great block.
Run over one man. Another man helps him stay up, gets the hand down, and gets the ball into the end zone.
That's
great
pretty.
Individual effort to get that one in. Great teamwork by the blocking initially, and then Johnson took over, and he wanted it, and he got it.
Now he's going to go on the sidelines and watch the Jumbotron here to see if he can see a replay as Pat Gibson comes in to tack on the extra point. High snap, placement down, kick up. Kick good. The holder is... You want to take a guess?
Nays.
He does everything else, so he did that very nicely. 34-18. The jubilation on the sideline. They played a tremendous game.
It's been an excellent football game. Thought the Titans were going to, they did wear them down a little bit of a lull for the Warriors, but Stanford able to get that offense going when they needed it. The defense in the end was able to swell up and put a stop on it. Let's take a look at this play.
Tremendous inside blocking.
He's going to get a little seam that he's going to take, but you watch the pop he puts on the safety man coming up here. It's Bishop, I believe, 22. Whoa. And then he lands on Jaranowski and able to stay after him, get into the end zone.
Well, you talked about it that in the 4th quarter, Stevenson gets the drive based on muscle, and Walled Lake Western decides to go to the muscle attack as well, and they squeeze out 2 touchdowns to put this one away. A 1-play drive for 10 yards.
Yeah, they beat him at their own game.
Yeah, they did.
At crunch time when it counted, and that makes you a champion.
Alls and Tennessee are the 2 deep backs. When you get the sideline shots, you'll see all the emotion, the highs and the lows, the anticipation and the frustration. As Gibson can't wait to kick this baby. All saved it. No, he stepped on the goal line. And in high school ball, if it breaks the plane or if the runner breaks the plane, comes out to the 20. And you could see him look like an outfielder going back to the fence. Kirby Puckett in his playing days trying to keep the ball from leaving the yard.
Well, Walled Lake, despite the fact that their coaching staff took a beating, they were able to put it together.
Alls makes a nice play, but you see it
put it on the line there, right? There. How about that?
It was a weak stick line there, pal.
Yeah, thank you. There's Kevin Crane you were looking at, and quarterback right now. Of course, Sterling Heights, Stevenson, the Titans, Pat Collins. This guy, you know, he's been with this program 10 years ago. He was a ball boy for Coach Rick Bye, along with Andy Frank, and they've been through it all together, and this is going to be a tough one for him.
Collins quickly out into the flat, and Crane simply erases Joe Alls, the receiver. And Joe is saying, hey, that ain't worth it. I'm going to get a yard and a concussion. Actually, he lost 3 and got a bruise.
And the clock is ticking.
Down to 30 seconds. The coaches, the complete acceleration.
Going to be his first state title.
These guys are 5-4 last year, Ray. They lose a couple of games during the season. They simply catch fire in the playoffs, averaging better than 40 points a game. And today they lay 34 on Sterling Heights Stevenson. Might be the last play of the game. Collins throws. Steele got his feet down. Boy, that kid's good. Tim Steele really shows you something as a receiver. Good body control, knows how to get his feet down. And with 3 seconds left, we're going to have one more play. Hugs.
Yeah, it's party time for Walled Lake.
You bet. It's Kevin Thomas enjoying it there. Watching himself dance around on the big screen.
Speaking of dancing, a little,
that's a
little waltz there.
That's right.
Well earned. They deserve it. That's right.
Barring a penalty, this will be the last play of the game. Collins just throwing it up for grabs. Valak running under it, almost came up with it. He played a tremendous game, but Walled Lake Western played a little bit better, and Walled Lake Western enjoys the fruits of a season-long labor, the Class AA State Championship. Our coverage of the 1996 MHSAA football finals continues here on Pass Sports tomorrow night at 7 with the Class CC finale between Iron Mountain and Detroit St. Martin de Porres. Be sure to join Mark Crawford and Bill Brandell tomorrow night as the very best in high school championship sports coverage continues right here on Pass. Your Class AA champion is Walled Lake Western, a 34-18 winner over Sterling Heights Stevenson. Ray, buddy, it's been fun.
I love it.
Good to work with you. For Ray Bentley and our production crew from TCI Cable of Oakland County, I'm John Matlack. So long, everybody.